Hello, we are the research team, the Climate Patrol, and this is the executive summary presentation for our project, Climate Change Perceptions Across Canada. Before we begin, we would like to acknowledge the land we are presenting on is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabeg, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples. Our research is inspired by the finding that while a majority of Canadians believe climate change is occurring and a majority is willing to take action to mitigate it, support for particular climate policies is lower than one might expect. Below, we have some vital statistics to contextualize this information. In our research, we sought to determine how demographic variables influence beliefs about climate change. We also sought to determine methods to better inform the public on this issue. We sought to determine the role of traditional and new media in influencing beliefs about climate change. Finally, we sought to determine whether Canadians' opinions align with the current and potential governmental policies regarding climate change. To research the problem, we completed a literature review to triangulate this topic from a variety of perspectives and sources. We completed a thematic analysis of various sources of information to understand certain themes behind climate change discourse. We also analyzed the data set to determine correlations among demographic variables and climate change opinions, and we created visualizations to better communicate these findings. Through our research, we concluded that inclusive and rights-based collaboration is essential to ensure Indigenous communities lead climate change solutions. In traditional media, some themes in climate change are overrepresented and some are underrepresented, leading to a news cycle that is not as relevant to the lives of Canadians as it could be. We found that social capital and professional occupation have a larger influence on beliefs about climate change than educational attainment. Finally, we find that Canadians are generally open to learning about climate policy if it is presented well. We recommend that governments center and recognize Indigenous rights and knowledge systems in climate change policy. We recommend that institutions aggressively tackle the climate knowledge action gap. We recommend that governments and media promote climate policy using a public health message. Finally, we advocate advancing transparent climate change policies. Our recommendations will be of interest to communicators in the Government of Canada and Environment and Climate Change Canada, as well as Indigenous partners collaborating with these agencies. They will also be of interest to media and educational institutions. Thank you for listening to our presentation.